we are going to make fruit scones, and it's going to be strawberry and blueberry at some point today, and we will show you the finished product only because you don't want to see a video of the whole entire every time we do this. We're going to make just a strawberry batch, and I haven't made the cinnamon chip batch yet, and if my hands and arms aren't too tired, we'll make a blueberry batch. But if my arms are too tired, my sissy Flavia and Scotty are here visiting with us this weekend, and we have been having a great time. We've been scrapbooking and eating tons of food and chit-chatting and everything. Scotty's laying over there sleeping, and Sissy says hello, but she don't want to get behind the camera. We understand. We will respect that she would just rather her presence is with us, and she is taste testing everything we're making. Okay, now for the fruit, you've got all of the dry ingredients, which I've already told you before what's in here. Kevin has grated up the frozen butter, so we're going to work this in just like we did before, so that we can get this frozen butter cut in to the dry ingredients. Now for this, the light brown sugar does not go into this one like it did for the last one, okay? So we'll get this worked in, get it kind of crumbly. And of course, the other bowl beside me, which I have already whisked, is the wet ingredients. And in front of me, I have the strawberries and blueberries. And yes, I did put flour in it to kind of coat the fruit just a little bit. And the fruit is frozen. You can work with fresh fruit, but I've always done the frozen fruit just because, well, I've had it on hand, and it's just easier that way. All right. Now we've got the butter worked in. And again, you don't want to overwork your dough. You just have to be mindful of that. Okay, let's get the butter worked out. Get it in the bowl, because it gets stuck between the blades and you don't want to miss any goodness. Okay. Get one more beat and go to the wet ingredients. Now, as I said before, when we made the chocolate chip scones, we had a dry dough ball. But as you're going to see, honey, as you're going to see when we go to do the putting the frozen fruit in here, it's going to introduce wetness because of it being frozen, and you're going to end up having a wet dough ball instead of a dry dough ball. And because of the wetness, as you will see, the dough ball is just a little bit harder to work with, because it ends up sticking to your fingers. All right, get the wet ingredients incorporated into the dry. And again, don't overwork your dough, because I'm still going to be shoving my hands down in here and forming a ball. Alright, let's get it cleaned off. Okay, in goes the fruit. And we have a little stuck to the bottom of the bowl, so let's get that out. Thank you, honey. Alright. And you know, Yeah, my hands are already clean. Okay, so I'm going to work the fruit into the bowl. And yes, since the fruit is frozen, there's a little chili between the frozen butter and the frozen fruit. Now you see, it's sticky. Alright, let's get this worked together. Now, there is a step that I have missed. And you're seeing it right now for yourself. I should have put some flour on my hands before I went dumpster diving. Because if I had put the flour on my hands to try and coat my hands a little bit, then the dough would not have stuck to my hands quite as bad as it is doing right now at this particular moment. Okay, and I'm having a little bit of a hard time here. So, alright, candid camera, we made a mistake. Alright, I'm going to need, oh my goodness, I'm going to need some flour here. Alright, Kevin's going to put a little bit of flour on my hands. Not a lot, just a little. And you just kind of want to move your hands around, shake it around. And let's see if we can do a little bit better job. You do not want to do very much because, of course, when you work, you can see for yourself that is helping. That little bit of flour is helping it incorporate together a little bit better. You don't want to add very much in because when you are making the recipe, of course the recipe says measure properly. Do not over measure. So when he's sprinkling the flour onto my hands, you need to make sure that you're just doing a light dusting, okay? But our ball has come together. I want to make sure not to overhandle the ball. And the ball wants to try and come apart. So the smart thing to do is to take the bottom of your ball, and I have to get up on my tippy toes here so I can reach down in here and not lose my grip on the ball. Alright, now let's get the last little bit out of here. I know, waste not, want not. Okay, and I'm going to attempt to get some of this extra dough off of my fingers so we're not being wasteful. However, I don't think I'm going to be very successful. So, alright, it's only a little bit of waste. I cannot believe that I just said that. Shocker, okay? Alright, so let's get this pressed down. And honey, if I can have just a little more flour, since obviously you can see I'm having a hard time with this wet ball. Thank you. Just a light little bit, okay? Alright, because the dough is wet, the blueberries and strawberries are rapidly melting. And that's what's making the dough stick to my fingers and my hands and a little hard to work with. Alright, so we're going to work this out into a circle. Well, as close as a circle as I can possibly get it. We want to evenly spread it out. And some of the fruit kind of wants to pop out, so you just shove it back down in there. Because you really don't want fruit hanging outside. We want it all inside of here, okay? Alright, honey, if you will take the case knife and try and clean some of this off of my fingers. And that way we can try not to, we're going to just put this down on the top of here, that way we're not being so horribly wasteful. Because when you forget to start with the flour in the first place, like I did. This will help us keep from being wasteful. So if you have to do this, case knife, not a sharp knife. All right. Here we go. And just smoosh it down into the top. That's good. Okay. Now, while I gotta wash my hands because, as you can tell, I can't do anything else right now at this particular moment, Kevin's going to give it a cut. Now, honey, you want to explain to them why they want you to pre-slice?
You'll see when we get done with these and we start trying to separate them, these cut marks will stay basically there even though that it bakes after the fact.
That took a little bit of extra washing because I had dough in my fingernails. Okay. He is putting the heavy whipping cream over the top. And we do this for every one of the scones because it just gives a nice glaze. More. Okay. There we go. Alright. Then I'm going to do the light sprinkle of the sugar on top. And just a light hand. You don't want to dump a lot of sugar on top. Okay. Alright. And in the oven they go. You'll see when they come out.